Welcome to another Narc Survivor Live video. In this one, I'm going to be talking about what you can expect from a narcissist at the end of a relationship. Because in the beginning, there's like this barrage of wild excitement and fun. They come in like they're this life of the party, as though they're there to help you, and things are going to be so much better for you now that they're there, as though they're going to change your life. Everything is going to be better, and there's all of this fun, there's all of these things going on now that they're with you, now that they're around. But then it isn't long until they turn against you. They begin by idealizing you and seeing you as perfect. And that's where this eagerness and enthusiasm comes from. Because they're looking at you like you're the best thing since sliced bread. Like they got to get around you. And that's what draws them to you. But then they realize that your qualities can't be theirs, and there's no way for them to get that out of you so that they can have it for themselves. So then that is why they begin to hate you. It's why they then turn against you. When they realize that they can't be you and that your qualities can't be theirs. That's what makes them do that. That's why they then devalue you. Because they're looking at it like, well, if I can't be you and I can't have your qualities for myself, then that must mean it's not that good anyway. So now I got to take it down. I got to make it less than what it actually is because it can't be mine, is how they see it. So that's how they go from one extreme to the other, from idealizing you to then devaluing you. And yet at the beginning, they came in with all of this fun and excitement, as though you're going to have a good time with them. And let's keep it real, maybe you did in the beginning, but that was all fake. It was an illusion. If it was real, they would have been able to sustain it, but they couldn't because it wasn't real, it was fake. And this is typically how it goes with narcissists. It starts off as fun in the beginning, but then when things get serious, they get serious. Things get bad. And then they're out seeking to harm you and ruin your life. But then sometimes they'll come back with a false character. They will re-idealize you again. Even while they've still got this grudge, this bitterness and resentment burning up inside of them. And yet they cover it up. They bottle it up for a certain amount of time. And then they come back and re-idealize you. And that's why it's like you don't know where you stand with them. You don't know how things actually are. Because everything is going off of their feelings. And their feelings can change from one moment to the next. Which is why they're very unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. And this is why many of you may not see this coming. And that is why I had to create this video to make you aware of it. So that you are better able to protect yourself. Because at the end, there's only one thing that a narcissist is going to do. I mean, if you want to like round it up and just to simplify it, it really comes down to this. What they're going to do at the end of the relationship is they're going to blame you for everything. They're going to hold you responsible. They're going to pile all of these unnecessary duties and responsibilities onto you. As though that's your fault. As though you have to deal with that. Including things that had nothing to do with you at all. Things that they were the cause of. Yes, they will still put that onto you and expect you to deal with it. Because they don't take accountability. They're like, big babies. They're emotionally immature toddlers in adult bodies. And that's why in the beginning it's under the guise of fun. And you think you're gonna have a good time with them, but before you know it, that comes back to bite you in the ass. Yes, that comes back to get you. And I'm not saying just don't have fun, just be dull, be boring all of the time. I mean, that's what we advise with narcissists. As Ross Rosenberg has said, and it's his grey rock technique as well. He created that. He advised that we should just grey rock these narcissists. Because yes, although there is this fun and exciting side to us, and that is a real part of ourselves, that's not a real part of them. It's fake. It's just designed to manipulate us, to get us to lower our guard, so that they can then exploit us and take advantage of us. And that's why when you're around narcissists, you need to be dull, boring, and uninteresting. Doesn't matter if they call you selfish, doesn't matter if they call you boring. Let them think that. Who cares what they think? As long as they don't screw you over. And if you want to have fun, you want to have a good time, do that with someone else. Just don't do that with them, because at some point you will regret it. You will feel worse than before you did it. Because before you did it, you were thinking, oh, this is going to be a good time. This is going to be fun. This is exciting. But that's because it was a facade, a false character. That's not actually who they are. And that's why once you get involved with them, you start to see who the real person is under the mask. And then it begins to eat away at you from the inside out. It begins to destroy you. It begins to bring you down. And you're left to deal with the consequences, because they're not going to take accountability for that. They look at it like, if you're stupid enough, if you're so foolish to believe that what I'm portraying to you is actually real, then you deserve everything you get for being so naive. For actually thinking that I could be this person in real life. Yes, that's how they see it. That's how they think. So in their minds, they're fully justified in doing that to you. And they've learned from a very young age to look at it like fun, having a good time. How stupid are you that you don't see that a predator like them can come along and take advantage of you? Because that's typically how it goes. Now let's get deeper into this, so we can really explore the psychology behind it and what happens and how they manage to deceive you. Because you've likely been experiencing this most of your life. You may have experienced it with a narcissistic parent. Anytime you're having fun, they got mad, they got envious, they had to bring it down. They had to take that away from you. They probably took your toys away from you for no apparent reason at all. And it's because they can't have fun. And the reason why they can't is because something happened to them in their childhood. Maybe they were having fun, they were having a good time. And then they experienced something bad, something negative. Something happened to them. So now they can't do that anymore. Their idea of fun is getting one over on you. It's taking away your fun, your enjoyment of life. And in many ways, this fun, this love that you have in your heart, it blinds you. You can't see what is happening right in front of your eyes. You can't see what they're doing to you because you're vibrating at a higher level, a higher frequency. So you're unable to perceive the frequencies that are below you. And that's how they can come in and take advantage of you. And you don't even see it coming. You don't even recognize it. That's how that happens to you. But I do believe that in some ways, narcissists may reminisce and miss the ghost of their dead inner child self that they abandoned a long time ago when they used to have a good time, they used to have fun. So maybe they do in some ways miss that from you. It's like they look at you as this missing piece of themselves. And that's why many times they want to own you. They want you to be their possession. And they idealize you. They idealize you. They view you as an extension of themselves. Because maybe they do like that a bit until they realize that they can't be you and your qualities can't be theirs. Then they go from envying you to being jealous and possessive and controlling, trying to trap, tame and confine you to where they don't want to let you get away. Because they don't want to see you moving on and having a good time with someone else when they know fully well that they can't do that. They can't trust anyone. There's never a time where they could just let themselves go. They're always on guard, they're always on edge. But they realize that it's not like that for you. The moment you're not around them, that's when you can finally let your hair down. You can have a good time. And they hate that. They hate how it can be like that for you, but it can't be like that for them. And they already know that it's never going to be that way for them, which is another reason why they can't accept that about you. So this is what happens at the end. After you've dealt with this narcissist, and you were led into it because you thought it's going to be fun, you're going to have a good time. You're going to do all of these things with them. And there's not going to be any problems. No fights, no arguments. But then with time you see that that's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it is. And it's what you're then dealing with every day of your life that you spend with them. You then begin to realize the truth that yes, this isn't real, this is just a facade. Because if it was real, they could sustain it. They wouldn't need to go to devaluing you. And they wouldn't have to own you and your qualities, or at least try to. They would be fine just being them separate selves. But this is just how it is when you're dealing with narcissists. Yes, they want to own you. They want there to be no distinction between you and them. No separation. To where you can't tell where you end and they begin. Or where they end and you begin. And everything is just enmeshed. And I'm not really just talking about fantasy, but it's just a way of thinking about it in terms of our qualities and who we actually are. It's like you may have worked hard in your life and earned a certain amount of money, and they may have as well. And yet, they would still like it if you put all of your savings on the table and they did, and you just mix it together to where there's no separation. You can't see what's yours and what's theirs. It's just both yours. Even though before the relationship, you may have worked hard for your entire life, and yet all they've got is just something maybe their parents gave to them. They didn't even save it up, and yet you did all of the work. Yeah, they would happily like it for that to be enmeshed, mixed together, to where there's no separation. You can't see what's yours and what's theirs, because that's a much better situation for them. But of course, it's not a good situation for you to be enmeshed to where there's no separation. That puts you at a disadvantage, because then you're taking all of their garbage, all of their problems, and you're unsure about what's actually yours. Things that you have worked for, things that you worked hard to achieve. So then in many ways, you're really losing your sense of self. You're losing your identity just by being around them. And yet for them, they're gaining more of a false sense of self from being around you. Because when they get around a source of supply, they're always acquiring new qualities and traits. Things that they like and admire, things that they think will make them look good in front of other people. And that's why I think in the beginning they make it out like it's fun, it's a good time. It's like, yeah, let's all just come together. Let's all just share what we have. You give what's yours, I give what's... Because they get to come around this incredible, wonderful person that you are. Everything that you've worked to be in your life. To develop your character, your authentic self. And you've worked hard all of your life, you've got a good job, you've got a home, you've saved up lots of money. So of course, yeah, that's tons of fun for them. When they just crawl out of the hole where they're from, and then they enter into your life, and you've got all of these things going on, things that they can now be a part of, but they didn't help you to work towards. But of course, yeah, that sounds like a great time. It's a great time for them. But as an empath, you may also see as though it's a good time for you, because it's like, it's like this stray animal that you're taking under your wing. You're bringing it into your home. A project for you to look after, to build up. And at first you think, okay, it's a certain amount of responsibility. I can take care of that, it's not too bad. But as time goes by, they demand more and more for you. It really begins to take you down to the point where you can't even take care of yourself. And then it's not fun anymore. And they know that if they had revealed that to you from the very beginning, you never would have stuck around. You never would have got involved with them to begin with. Because obviously, you would do the calculations and realize that if I have to take care of them this much, to this degree, this extent, it's only going to be a matter of time until it's all over for me as well. Which is why it's like the boiling frog syndrome. They turn the heat up over time until eventually it just completely burns you out, but you never see it coming. And then at the end, they blame you for everything. They make everything your fault. Even though You were under the impression that this was just a bit of fun. You thought, okay, maybe it's friends with benefits, or maybe it was something more serious, like a relationship. But even then, you thought it was going to be fun at the time. I mean, that's what relationships are supposed to be as well. But instead, it was just them having fun at your expense, taking everything that you got, because they idealized you, they recognized you're this wonderful person, all of these things going on in your life, these wonderful qualities. So they come in and they strip all of that away from you, while at the same time, they are then devaluing you and making you believe that you're not as great as you actually are. And then that creates that cognitive dissonance, especially since you're losing all of these things to them. You're losing your confidence. All of your wonderful qualities are being stripped away from you. And yet you don't look at them and what they're doing to you. They talk to your family, your friends. They may be involved in your work. They're involved in all of these different things in your life. They've created all of these different ties and attachments to where you just can't seem to get away from them. And of course, that's exactly what they want. Because yes, they recognize, they understand that you are a valuable person, and they're unlikely to find someone else like you ever again in their lives. Of course, they want to hold on to you. Of course, they don't want to let you go. They don't want you to be going anywhere. But at the end, it's like, if you got to go, if you really want to move on, then you can move on in the way that I want you to, with everything that you have stripped away from you, where you're nothing but a shell of yourself. Yes, that's exactly what they want for you. They want you to just go down in life, where you may have come in as this person who was full of energy, full of life, enthusiasm. You had so much to look forward to in your future. You had so many things going on, so many things to be happy about. All of these dreams, goals, and ambitions. And yet they come in and they realize they can't be you. Your qualities can't be theirs. They're never going to be anything like you. They're never going to be on that level. So then they want to take you down and turn you from that happy, energetic, enthusiastic person and turn you into a miserable wreck who hates their life, feels a sense of hopelessness and helplessness. You've just given up. Because then it's like, yeah, now you know exactly how it feels. Now you know exactly what I had to go through my entire life. It's how they see it. Because yes, that's exactly how it is for them. Imagine living a life with no enthusiasm, no love in your heart, no hope, no faith, no belief in anything, including yourself. Imagine living a life like that. Imagine that for a moment, and then you will begin to understand the mind of a narcissist, where they've just completely given up on everything. So it's like all they can do is pull you down with them. It's like crabs in the bucket. They see you raising up in life. You're raising up towards the clouds, towards the heavens. You're feeling good about yourself. You've got so much hope and belief, so much enthusiasm for the future. Yeah, they see you raising up, and it's like this crabs in the bucket mentality, to where they just want to reach up their hands and pull you down. But as I said in a previous video, one of my earliest videos, it's like a child building a sandcastle on the beach. And they take all of this time to build it with a bucket and spade until it's finally built. It's done, it's finished. And then some other child sees it, they get so jealous, they feel so overwhelmed. It's like, how am I supposed to build a sandcastle like that with this bucket and spade? Or maybe they don't even have a bucket and spade, they don't even have the tools to build it. So then they come over to that child's sandcastle, and then they just go and they kick it down. They knock it over, they destroy it, and then they laugh and they walk away. They make it feel like it's all your fault. And then you manage to find that strength and courage again to rebuild that sandcastle. And in fact, this time you're like, okay, they took it down, but this time I'm going to make it better than before. I'm not going to let them destroy my belief in my own abilities. So then you go and you build that sandcastle. And maybe this time it's like a sand palace. It's the most greatest, beautiful sand palace imaginable. And then the narcissist comes along again and they just kick it down, they destroy it. Or they may come and take credit for your success and tell everyone, no, this is my creation, I built that. They're either going to destroy it or try and take credit for it, try and take ownership of it, because they don't want anything to be yours. That is the problem. That's how they go from idealizing to devaluing you, because they can't be you and your qualities can't be theirs. Just think about it like this. They're so arrogant, so delusional. If they really thought that they were greater than you, if they really thought that their qualities were better than yours, you really think they would even notice you? You really think they would give a damn about that? Of course not. The problem is that your qualities are greater. You're just so much more of a wonderful, likable person. People want you, people like you. But some people get very envious and jealous of you because they want to own you, they want you all for themselves. That's really what it comes down to. And they look at it like, in their minds, this is so unfair. How do you get to move around this world with this brain, this intelligence? And they really think deep about this. Even though you may not know it, in their minds, they're constantly overthinking, overanalyzing about it. And they feel completely inadequate in comparison to you. It's like, so you get to go around this world with this brain, this intelligence, this imagination, this creative thinking ability, this charm, this charisma, this ability to be likable and attractive, to where people want to be around you, and the opposite sex are drawn to you. And you can flirt with them effortlessly, or you don't even have to do that. They just automatically, they want to be around you. You don't even have to say anything. And then on top of that, it's like your physical attractiveness. It may be your body as well, especially if it's a somatic narcissist. And then it's all of the hard work that you put in, your motivation, your discipline, your devotion, all of these wonderful qualities that you possess. and you put in the work, but it's like you enjoy it at the same time. It's so easy for you. They look at you and it's like life is so easy for you. And then in their minds, it's like, life is so hard for me. And it's so overwhelming how you're like the full package, you got it all together. This is actually how they think. I mean, I do remember this the situation that happened. This was about maybe 15 years ago in England, near to where I'm from. It was on the Jeremy Kyle show. I don't know if many of you have watched that, but it's quite a famous show in the UK. Anyway, there were these two girls, these black Londoner girls, and they were like best friends. One of the girls was very beautiful. She had such a nice face, and all the boys wanted her. They were really attracted to her, and her best friend was secretly very jealous of her because she wasn't as attractive. So then what she did was she put on this burqa. It's like this cloak that Muslim people wear. And it was something like when she was walking home from work, her best friend, she wore this burqa and she was stalking her. She creeped up behind her. And it's like something where she turned around and she threw all of this acid over her face. That's how jealous she was. And it was so bad that even after all the treatment, that girl's face is never going to be the same again. And her friend, I believe she went to prison for life for that. I don't know if she's out now. I mean, it's been about 15 years. But yeah, this is the result of the jealousy. And I spoke about this case in a previous video before. I can't remember which one, but it's something that really stuck in my mind. I mean, for me, it's more, I think it's because of my empathy. It's like, okay, so other people exist and they're more physically attractive than you are. I mean, that's relative anyway. Different people have different types. But, you know, that's how it is in the narcissist mind, because they view people as extensions of themselves. So it's like you're a better version of them than they are. And it's like, so you've come into this world, you get to move about the earth, being more attractive than I am. And then you've got these qualities, the intelligence, the charisma, the charm. All of these things that are attractive and desirable, and they make you important in this world. It's like the social status, the image, you know, which they're all about. The full package, everything combined. And it's so overwhelming for them. Because they always want more. I mean, of course, yes, there's some narcissists who are incredibly attractive physically. They've got tons of money, they could be millionaires, they could have everything. And yet, because of their ego, it's still not enough to fill that void. The ego always wants more. So yes, there could be narcissists who have nothing, and they could be very jealous of you. But then at the same time, there's also narcissists who have everything, and they're jealous of people who have less. Because although you may have less, you can enjoy it more. You get more fulfillment than they do. They're always comparing themselves to other people. They're always on social media scrolling and looking at what everyone else has got. And they're never happy. It's never enough. And that's really a big part of the problem. I mean, you got to look at it like this. Even you or I, If we were constantly comparing ourselves to other people every day, like if all you do is you just scroll through your Instagram, your Twitter, you're looking at everybody's life, you're seeing, oh, all right, this guy just bought a new jet, a new Bugatti, this girl's a model, she's got all of these guys after her, I don't know. If you're just looking at this all the time on your Instagram, your Twitter, of course that's going to affect your happiness at some point. Because you're not doing anything in your own life, you're not making your life better. You're just tuning into someone else's life all of the time. And life is not meant to be lived that way. You're meant to be focused on yourself. And it could be that way even if you have more. Even if you do. I mean, as I know, there are quite a number of my viewers and clients who are multi-millionaires and they have a lot of things going on. But yeah, even if people have more, just by tuning into other people's lives and you're constantly seeing what they're doing, you're witnessing their happiness, and you're not doing anything with your own, of course that's going to make you miserable as well. But this isn't what we tend to do. As victims, as empaths, we are more self-focused on what we're doing in our own lives, not comparing ourselves to everyone else. That's what narcissistic people do. Because they're self-absorbed. It's all about their image. And their image is relative to everyone else's. They use other people as a reference point. So this is a part of why they're so miserable. It's why they can never be happy. And that's why you'll notice it's typically what they do with you. At the end, when they blame you for everything, maybe you wonder what happened, you were left with no closure, you go onto their social media, whoop, there they are, flaunting their new source, living their best lives, as they portray it to be. They've got to put that onto you. And you should know whatever they're putting onto you, that's what they're experiencing for themselves when they're looking at you. Yes, you would be surprised how these narcissists see you, because it's very different to how they portray it to you. They make it look like you're worthless, you're garbage, you ain't worth shit. That's how they make it seem to you. But they actually see you very differently. You've got to think about it like this. How can you devalue someone if they have no value? How can you take anything away if there's nothing there? You can't. So this is how you should know that yes, they are lying to you. They actually see you in a very different way to how you may think. So of course, and again, it's like, yeah, of course I'm going to blame this person. I can't just let this person move on and be happy and not have any worries about anything and just live their lives. And it's like, while they are still miserable and they can't enjoy anything in their lives, of course they're not going to want to see that. Of course they're not going to want that to happen. But this is just how it goes. When at the end it's time to part ways, it's like you've taken all that you can take. You can't take any more. You just can't deal with them, the fights, the arguments. And then at the same time, they're like pretending when you go out. nothing's wrong, or they're blaming you for everything. That's false image. I mean, that's really the worst part. It's like, how can you have the nerve to act like there's no problem when you're doing all of these things to me? I mean, that's really the crazy part about it. They're really that delusional. And they had to be that way to protect themselves, because they're kind of tuned into the false images of other people as well. And it's often just a bunch of narcissists who are all fooling each other, making everyone think, oh yeah, I got this good life, all of these things are going on for me, when in reality their lives are in shambles, they're miserable. But they present this false image, unless of course with covert narcissists they like to play the victim as well. They're always going to blame you at the end. What else can they do? When you're involved with a narcissist, I mean, let's just talk about what a narcissist is. They're self-absorbed, they lack empathy, they can be grandiose at times, they've got this strong sense of entitlement. I mean, just these traits alone, it's a recipe for disaster. Of course, things are not going to end well because they've got to take everything from you, and there's no reciprocation, there's no equal exchange of value. They're getting all of their value from you, and of course they have no inner sense of value of their own. So of course things are going to go bad. And yet, of course, because they're arrogant, they're entitled, they're grandiose, they have this exaggerated sense of their own abilities and importance. And also because they don't like taking accountability, they don't want to be better, they don't want to grow or change. Because of all of these things, of course, they're going to blame you. Because they're not going to take accountability. They don't want to change, they don't want to grow, they don't want to be better. They just want to pass it off onto you so that they can run off and do the same thing to someone else all over again. Because maybe they got something out of you, they got what they wanted. So now they want to try that again with someone else. But here's the thing, they're not going to find another empath. They're not going to find someone else like you. Their grade A source of supply. They run off sometimes and they're like, even narcissists can be so gullible and naive. They can get tricked so easily by other narcissists as well into believing things that aren't even true, thinking that they're getting into something where someone's going to help them, take care of them, and then they soon realize that they're caught up in something and someone is taking advantage of them, while thinking that they had found another empath, another grade A source of supply. And yet, because of their image and after leaving you, they want to set it up to make it look like that's not what it is. As though things are actually okay, when really they're dying inside. They're miserable. And yet they have to put on this act, they have to pretend for you, to make it seem to you that you are still the problem. So that then that reflects back to them, they get supply, and they can still feel a little bit better about themselves. And maybe continue to live in this delusion with someone who is just tricking and exploiting them. someone who is actually no good for them. I'm seeing 183 live viewers and only 16 thumbs ups. If you're finding this information helpful so far, please hit that thumbs up button down below to show your support. It will help the YouTube algorithm to get this message out there to other survivors, empaths, and chosen ones around the world. This is just the reality of dealing with these narcissists. This is just how things go with them. They come in like, yeah, it's going to be so much fun. There's all of this excitement. They're the life of the party. You're going to have such a great time with them. And then you soon realize that's not who they actually are. They know that's what you're like. They know that's what you want. But they're not that at all. They're just using that to trick you because they know that's what you like. They know that's what you're about, but they're not about that at all. They reflect your own qualities and virtues back to you. They idealize you and they see it like, yeah, this person is attractive, they're desirable. I could use some of that. I could just take these qualities and traits and use them to trick someone else. This concoction, these bits and pieces that I can use to reconstruct my false character to attract a new source of supply. Because yes, they're always seeking supply. But also it's very frustrating for them because they realize they can't be you and your qualities can't be theirs. They can only fake it, they can only pretend. It's never actually going to be real like it is with you. So of course that frustrates them. It irritates them. And then that's why they get so mad at you and they want to destroy you. They want to take you down, take you out. And in the end, it's like they want to finish you once and for all. But yeah, this is just how it goes. This is the reality when you're dealing with these narcissists. I'm just here at the mall today. Came here and got something to eat. Had some bubble tea, you know how I do. Yeah, I'm just having a good time. Exploring the world, meeting new people. Just doing different things. And of course, working, researching every day to bring you this information and making these videos, doing what I need to do, following my purpose, but at the same time, trying to find happiness and fulfillment and just living my best life. Because I believe that that is what I came here to do. So of course, if you know, you know, you know that that's what I came here to do. And of course, I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to continue to do that, of course. And I want that for you too. This is what we should all be doing. This is our mission in life. Together, even though, yeah, we may not be together physically right now, but still, we have this collective, this energy. We all need to be following our mission, our purpose together. Where we are studying this information. Because I do believe that, yeah, if you were a victim of a narcissist, I believe that we all have a duty, a responsibility to make people aware of this as well. And yet at the same time, we also have the duty to live our best lives. Because it's like, just because we've been hurt, just because you've been abused, no matter what type of abuse that may have been for you, just because you've been through that, it doesn't mean that it has to be all over for you. It doesn't mean that you have to throw in the towel. It doesn't mean that you have to give up on your life. It doesn't mean that you have to give up everything just because of what happened to you. And that's why I stand here as a model. That is what I represent. I am a survivor. I survived the abuse. I survived everything that was done to me. All of the pain that they put me through. Yes, I survived all of that. Everything that I went through in my childhood, everything that I went through throughout my teens, throughout my 20s. And now I stand here as a 35-year-old man today. And yes, I can say I triumphed over that. I didn't let it change me. I didn't let it destroy me. Instead, I've used my pain to become greater. And I believe that that is what we are supposed to do. That is who we are supposed to be. It's not something where you just sit alone in your home and I don't know, you watch these types of movies about breakups and romance. You listen to these types of songs. I mean, you can do that as well. There's nothing wrong with that. That's cool. But also, you've got to move forward as well. Use it to motivate you to continue on your path to purpose, to become better and greater, and to become an inspiration to other people who have experienced this abuse. Because that's what they don't want you to do. They want everyone to be miserable, to be hopeless just like them. To feel like things can never get better for you. To believe that this is as good as it gets. And that's why I decided to name this channel Narc Survivor. Because that's who I am. That's what I'm about. That's what I like. I survived. I got through it all. And I became the person that you see today. This person that inspires millions of people around the world. I believe that is our duty, our responsibility, to spread this awareness together and to be the greatest version of ourselves despite what we went through. Don't let the abuse define you. You don't have to be a victim forever. You can beat a survivor. Anyway, that's all I've got to say for this message today. But I'm quite disappointed to see that there's only 27 thumbs ups. And we've had hundreds of viewers in this live video. So please show your support. Hit that thumbs up button down below. I appreciate it. Let me know what you thought about what I said in the comment section. I read your comments every day. And if you would like to donate, you can leave a super chat in the live chat, a super thanks in the comment section, or you can go to my PayPal. It is paypal.me/NarcSurvivor. And if you would like to book a one-on-one coaching session with me, you can go to my website. It is narcsurvivor.co.uk. And also you can follow me on Instagram, where I have new pictures and videos of my travels, which I upload every day on there. My Instagram is NarcSurvivorYouTube. You can also send me a DM and I will respond. All right, thank you for joining me on another Narc Survivor live video. I do appreciate you all. And as always, I look forward to speaking with you in another live video